Today we will be dealing with the Iran crisis in a nutshell. Firstly, I will be discussing what are the different types of energy that is renewable in today's time. We have the hydro energy, we have the nuclear energy, we have the geothermal energy, we have the solar energy. But the most prominent form of energy that has been in use for a long period of time has been the nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, as the name signifies, is derived from the nucleus of an atom. So it is basically less the fuel, more the energy. It is the most efficient form of energy. Now we have two types of nuclear energy. First is nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is a bigger atom is split into smaller atoms. Then we have the nuclear fusion. That is, small atoms are all together clubbed into a big atom. But the most prominent or the most amount of energy released is from nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is seen in stars' sun. For example, hydrogen and helium together, they make the nuclear fusion for sun. So the amount of energy from nuclear fusion is far greater than the amount of energy that is derived from nuclear fission. Coming back to the story, nuclear technology had been transferred from the US to Iran during the 1950s so that every country could develop on nuclear technology so that we don't have to depend on fossils, but instead we can promote a form of energy that is more renewable. But ever since America has transferred the technology, Iran started building many nuclear research centers in places such as Iraq, Fordo. There has been many growth of nuclear reactors, and it has been reported by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is a UN body, that this nuclear energy is transferred in such a manner that we can actually make nuclear bombs. Now, coming back to nuclear bombs, how is it a person or any institute can make nuclear bombs? It is through a process known as nuclear enrichment. Now, what is this enrichment process? Now, let us take a radioactive metal known as uranium from uranium mine. There are two types of uranium, that is uranium 235 and uranium 238. But we have a lot of U-238, which is more abundant in nature. But this energy from U-238 is very, very hard to get. So we need to convert it to a particular form in order to get that energy. But U-235, you could see that the energy is derived easily. So in order to make U-235 more, people, what they do is they actually lessen the number of U-238 in such a manner that U-235 is more in number. So more the number of U-235, that means uranium enrichment is more, and more the enrichment, that means you can make nuclear bombs. So it has been reported that Iran has been doing the enrichment process up to 60%, and it was very clear that they were already set to make the nuclear bombs. But what happened after that is many countries, they knew that okay, Iran's direction is going in a wrong direction. They all thought, let us punish Iran. So let us put sanctions. Sanctions means punishment without war. And what happened is Iran's oil, which was very much in demand, was stopped. So most of the countries didn't trade with Iran in terms of oil. So a country that only knows or that is only rich in mainly petroleum reserves, what happened? The trade was lost. Many countries stopped trading with Iran and the trade stopped. And when the trade stopped, there was a huge economic crisis back then. So later what happened, Iran knew that this is not something that Iran's growth is going to determine. So Iran, what it did, it entered into a joint partnership deal with certain countries, including USA. So Iran promised that we will stop the enrichment up to 60%. Instead, you have to lift sanctions. And it was agreed. And Iran was back to the normal times. People started trading with Iran because Iran agreed to stop the enrichment process so that they cannot make nuclear bombs. This agreement happened in the year 2015. But what changed in 2018 was America leaving the deal. What America did was, America said that you have only dealt with the uranium enrichment process. You haven't dealt with the missiles. Missiles is something that is used to carry weapons. So missiles can be drawn on any form of energy, not necessarily nuclear energy. So Trump said that nuclear missiles are not stopped, whereas uranium enrichment is stopped, and it's not fair. And US left the deal. And after US leaving the deal, and US being a superpower, again the sanctions were lifted on Iran. Again, it is back to the same situation. People stopped trading with Iran, and Iran's major economic crisis is happening now. So one thing that I have noticed is, once there is an economic crisis, it means that the demand for your good will decrease. When the demand for your good decreases, again, the demand for your currency will also decrease. So when the demand for your currency decreases, the value of the currency of that particular country also decreases. So Iranian currency, that is riyal, value has been decreased so much that you have to pay a lot of money to buy a bread. So that is what is happening in Iran. Hope you understood the same.